What's up, AfterBuzzers? We're here talking Casual Season 2, Episode 5, Bicycle Thieves. We are talking about a lot of juicy stuff, so stay tuned because you do not want to miss it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
We just have to pick random songs every week for this.
This song is a jam.
I love this
So
song.
good.
Thanks everyone so much for tuning in. We're so excited to be here, and Casual got renewed for season 3.
Nice.
Woo! So congratulations to the cast and everyone involved. The show is amazing.
Well deserved.
Love this show so much. Overall thoughts on this episode compared to the first 4?
I loved it. It was a very Alex and Laura episode, but I loved it.
And I think a lot of the other shoes dropped in this episode. A lot of things that had kind of the seeds that had been planted in the first 4 episodes, we kind of finally got to see some of the events of those.
Yeah,
so I think
agree.
that was the kind of the outcomes of those. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy that we got some things solidified this week, which was nice.
I agree with you guys completely. All right, everyone. I am Abby Vega, and I am your host tonight. You can find me at _Abby Vega, and I've got my lovely ladies with me. Where can they find you?
Hey guys, I'm Renee Ariel, and you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel.
Hi guys, I'm Quinn Scillian. You can find me on Twitter at Quinn Scillian.
There's always the weird, like, who's going first thing on this panel.
start
What's our
planning.
deal?
We gotta plan it out before we start.
We gotta get it together. Okay, so like you said, this was a very heavy with Alex episode, so I think we should start with him. He's losing his mind a little bit in this episode. So it starts off with that little dream sequence with, I had no idea it was a dream at first until he pulls his tooth out.
The tooth I didn't even know. It wasn't so she asked to be. I was like, what's happening? And then when she's like, why don't you have your clothes on? I'm like, oh, it's a dream.
It's a dream.
Yeah, and what was the deal with him calling everyone Alexis? Do you know what that's about?
Like, his name is Alex, and
Is
so
that
it's like
why?
the female version. It's just narcissism, probably. I mean, I don't know.
Because he called 2 different girls, like any girl that passed in that dream, he'd be like, what's up, Alexis?
Yeah.
Maybe his dream is just to like know everyone's name and feel like an actual boss.
No, it has to be a female version of Alex.
It has to
right?
be.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's something deeply psychological
because he's
about
the very
that.
narcissist. That nurse?
Yeah,
narcissist.
yeah.
I'm like, I can't say that word. Yeah, that could be it. I didn't even think about that at first. That could be it.
And I'm really excited. What is her name? Brie something? The actress.
Britt Robertson.
Britt Robertson. Yeah, she's gonna be.
Yeah.
I really like her. So
She's
I'm excited
introduced
to
as
see,
Fallon.
which is like such a funny name. Kind of like Phallic or Jimmy Fallon. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to see where her storyline goes.
I know, I like her
too.
too, right? Now, she seems like she's just a receptionist or something in the office, but I will definitely be seeing more from her because she's obviously a guest star.
Yeah, she's way too famous to just be like
be like in Alex's dream and like the hey Alex or morning. Okay, so obviously that dream sequence happens and we find out it's a dream. So it starts then with Alex going through Jordan and Sarah's wedding website, which is, he is just thinking about this whole situation so much.
Come on, that was it
was
the most annoying wedding website.
It
I've
was
ever
like
seen.
you can buy a cow to donate and all this stuff, and I thought the conversation with Val,
just
what he
kill me.
said, what did he say? He goes, this is kind of just self-serving because he isn't asking for gifts, and his whole conversation was hilarious, but Val kind of blew him off.
No, it is. It's like they're trying so hard to be selfless that it's selfish how selfless they are.
Yeah, because it's like, look at me, look how
yeah.
selfless I am.
Exactly.
Which is an actually interesting point. I forget what show it was that I was watching. I think it's on an old episode of Friends where they say no good deed is completely selfless.
Yeah.
They're like, there's nothing you do that doesn't make you feel good about it, or which is just kind of interesting in that whole thing.
Totally.
We won't get into it, but whatever. And then Jordan is kind of on Alex's case about being to work on time and things like that. What was your guys' read on that before they have their little conversation?
Him doing his job.
That's what I thought, too.
Nothing. I mean, Alex is just super paranoid in this episode. He's like, no, she told him things. Like, he's just paranoid, so he's going to read into everything. I mean, I've done that once or twice where if you think someone's mad at you or something, you read into everything they say, which he was doing.
Okay, but on the flip side of that, up until this episode, they have never really cared if Alex was at a meeting or when he was late for work. I mean, literally, like, meetings would happen, and he was like, oh, okay. Like Jordan never cared what Alex was doing until now.
Yeah.
So if I was Alex, I would also read into it.
That is true. But I didn't know if in the last episodes they never showed Alex fully, like, moved into the office or anything.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if those were more just, like, meeting. I mean, I don't know. I took it as Jordan kind of just doing his job, and then Alex obviously just overthinking things.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't know. There's something about Jordan, even when they had their interaction now, that I'm a little off about
There's
him.
like something underlying everything. It feels like everything has another motive. I mean, also, like, it happens to be this guy who's really well known for a pretty duplicitous character as it is, and maybe that's just me having a hard time separating his Mad Men character from his casual character. But they're really similar. They're, like, super similar, like the same office, kind of situation.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that was a casting choice on purpose.
Yeah, I never watched Mad Men, but Mad Men. Mad Men.
Mad Max Fury Road. Mad
Lots
Men.
of Mad. But I don't know, when they had their conversation about Sarah, which we'll touch on like in a little bit once we cover some other things, but there's something about him that I think that he might secretly be kind of annoyed that they dated.
Oh, I'm sure. Of course.
But like
that's human, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it has more so to do with what she told him about them dating. Because she definitely told him that he cheated on her. That's what I got from it.
Oh,
I thought she just said they dated. It was good.
It was good.
Some family stuff happened.
Yeah.
It ended.
So let's get into that though first. So he goes to see Sarah, and it's just like I said, he's just being kind of crazy. He's kind of being like the crazy ex-boyfriend in this episode, coming in hot, asking her, "What'd you tell Jordan?" And she is so just like, I didn't tell him. I told him what he needed to know.
You guys, I don't know.
Do you think she told him more?
I don't think she told him more, but I think that she's not as innocent as we think she is.
In what way?
I think she's messing with him psychologically. I think that her telling him to buy a chair was a dig.
Yeah, I thought that was
like,
definitely.
I think that there's gonna come out and like, because in this episode, this is episode number 5. For a couple episodes, Alex had us thinking that this girl was crazy. Episode 5, we're being shown, no, she's not crazy. There is way too much season to go to not find out that she's probably pretty crazy.
That is true.
Yeah, I
That's a
think
good
she's
point.
still messing with him, but I think because she said to him,
And the light bulb thing, too.
Yeah.
the light bulb, she definitely stole that
She
little
did.
light bulb just
She's
to
messing
mess
with him.
I don't know. I still think
Oh.
that she told him that Alex cheated on her. I don't know why.
We're gonna have to see.
We'll see. Because it's just, his anger needs to be coming from somewhere, you know? Like, I don't think it's just because he's mad that Alex is the lazy person he's always been, showing up late to work, missing meetings. I think it is coming from somewhere, and I don't think she would just be like, yeah, we broke up because of family problems, when she's messing with him, clearly.
That's
I
a
don't know.
good
We'll have
point
to
that
see.
you said that she's messing with him, because I forgot about the light bulb thing, and then the chair thing was definitely something I think she knew would get under his skin.
Yeah.
So
I'm
that
saying I think she's laying some framework. I mean, like, he crumbled in this episode, so I don't really know. I don't know.
yeah,
We'll have to see.
And I like I said, every week I love Alex's reactions and the way he handles things, and even in that conversation, it was such a real moment. He kept arguing, and then he realized, why am I even still talking to you? And he kind of storms off, and I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
And then it ends up, I guess this is kind of the last big thing with Alex, unless I'm forgetting something, is, Jordan saying the thing about it was a family issue, and then it ended, kind of ignited something for him, being like, oh my gosh, my parents.
Right.
So we see Alex going over to his dad's house
My first instinct was that it was going to have to do something with Val.
with Val.
Obviously, because, like, when you think of Alex's family, you think Val. I don't really even, like, I guess it's, like, same as them. Like, I don't really see Val and Alex's parents as being, like, in the mix really at all. So my first thought was not that it had to do with mom and dad.
I was so confused when I heard family thing. I was like, was there a big family accident or
that was just a lie that she told him or something.
I didn't know. I was like, I just didn't even know where to go with that. So I was actually very surprised when he did go to see his dad, and I thought the line was hilarious. Nothing ever good happens in Burbank.
Guess what? One good thing happens in Burbank. AFTERBUZZ TV.
Yes,
That's one good thing that happens in Burbank.
But I thought that was so funny. So you see his dad, and you kind of just find out that, he completely went out of his realm of what his responsibility and duty as a parent. Actually, like the opposite of what parents usually do, and pretty much sabotaged his relationship. What do you guys think? That was
I gotta
weird.
tell you, I just cannot understand that Alex wouldn't have realized that the reason why, I'm sorry, what is her name? Sarah. Alex is saying Sarah went crazy. Why was his instinct never that she just found out that he cheated on her? Why did he not think that she ever found out?
That is weird.
I don't understand
just
why.
because, like, definitely in college and stuff, you find that stuff out.
And I'm not even from his dad or anything. I'm just saying if you have a girlfriend, all of a sudden you cheat on girlfriend, and girlfriend starts to go crazy for some reason. Ding, 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 ding. She probably found out you cheated on her, you dickhead.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But at the same time, we don't know like how it went down. We don't know if it was for maybe a few weeks of her hinting that she knew, or it was passive aggressive, then all of a sudden had a freak out. Alex is also little slow. I just cannot, I just cannot believe that scene with his dad just made me cringe, because how dare you get involved in your son's relationship?
Why are we defending a cheater?
No, here's the thing. Yes, you should not, it's not even about, he should have told her that he cheated, but it was not it's the fact that it was his dad that told her.
I think it was mean to show. Mad. No, because like the cheating thing. I'm not defending that.
No.
But I think it was kind of meant to show like how broken Alex is, because this is his dad who did this to him, and usually dad and son, they have like this good relationship, and to find out that your dad kind of went behind your back and all these years, I don't know,
didn't even tell him that he told her.
Yeah, so I think that was more of it. But I don't know. And then you find out too, I guess this is the really last Alex thing. First of all, how awkward was he sitting on that table? I started laughing out loud when Val and Laura have that moment of hugging, and then you see Alex over there like creeping like with his legs up. But I thought it was kind of sweet to see that side of Alex. He goes, I loved her. He's like, and did he just realize that? I don't know, but I forget the line. What did he say? I loved her and dad drove her away. So I think more of the whole dad telling thing was to show how Alex really, I think, is just hurt by how his dad and his relationship has always been.
Yeah. And I also think just for Alex kind of, having the realization that he had felt so strongly for someone ever was a big deal for him, because I think Alex for a long time, until Emmy or whatever, just thought that love wasn't in the cards for him. Yeah. So to have that kind of moment of reflection where he was just like, oh, that's what that was, and I didn't even recognize it at the time. You know what I mean? I think that was a kind of an eye-opening moment for me.
Yeah, something definitely clicked in that
so I'm
moment.
hoping maybe in the future episodes we'll see Alex maybe get a love interest, and maybe he'll realize again like what he's capable of. Like, I'm capable of feeling these ways. I'm capable of having a relationship that I care about. Yeah. So I think maybe that was kind of a foreshadowing of that, him having that realization. So now we'll go on to Laura. So Laura, finds out her dad's trying to have a baby, and I think she had a reaction after the fact that any kid that age would have when she finds out her dad is trying to have a baby.
But also Drew doesn't seem like super psyched about it.
No, he doesn't. Which that whole thing is, I don't think it's going to happen, but so she kind of wants to just get messed up with her friend Aubrey. So Aubrey's like, let's get wine, do a movie, but Laura's like, I need more. So she gets weed brownies, and you guys were talking about this interaction a little before. You saw some flirting between the kid from school and her.
I didn't see any flirting.
I didn't either.
It wasn't even, their interaction wasn't the flirtiest. I think it was afterwards when she smiled to herself because he gave it to her for free. That's why I thought maybe this will be someone in her life. I was like, maybe she's attracted to him. It wasn't so much the interaction itself. It's just kind of like the aftermath of like, why would this character be introduced? Kind of that.
I thought she smiled more because of like his comment. She gave a smart ass comment about, isn't this kind of stereotypical? The only black kid is selling drugs, and then he said, isn't this typical basic white girl trying to buy them? So I thought that's why she smiled.
That's why I was playful about it.
There was something to this interaction, because like I was saying last week, because we all, not to jump too far ahead, we all kind of predicted something was going to happen romantically with Aubrey and Laura.
Obs, our girl.
I think, I was really nervous because I really, really ache for Laura to have a friend who is platonic and non-romantic. And I thought that was going to be Aubrey, but if that ends up being this kid,
it could be him.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I just really, really want that for her in some way, because I think that, like, I think this whole family has a hard time confusing, sex and friendship. And just
100%.
And someone just caring for you doesn't necessarily mean that they want to have sex with you, and things like that, and vice versa. So so if we can find a person in Laura's life like that, I think that's like key to her mental stability.
Yeah,
I agree.
For sure. I think they definitely had that interaction for a reason with that kid specifically, so we'll see how it plays out. But so then it ends up the girls get, is it weed brownie?
I assume it's a cookie.
Yeah. So they end up going to her dad's house, which I thought it was interesting too. This is just a thing with filming, how they went back and forth between her going to her dad's house and Alex going to his dad's, because they both kind of seem to have trouble with their dads.
Yep.
So I thought it was cool that they did that. They end up just stealing the bikes, and was it just letting off steam pushing the bikes down, or like releasing? What do you guys take that as?
To be honest, I wasn't
didn't
sure.
know.
I was listening to everything she was saying about the Cupid god of love, and but I was like, are they just trying to have fun?
Like I said, The Bicycle Thief is like a really classic.
Okay, so maybe it's a parallel?
Italian neo-realism film, and I'm not very familiar with it, but I'm sure if I were to go and look at one Wikipedia page, there would be a parallel there. So maybe that's something to do with it. I mean, I definitely saw this just as an act of like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Rebelling, letting go of her childhood, moving on to a different chapter of her life. Or honestly, maybe this wasn't her bike. Maybe this is just Drew's and Drew's new girlfriend's bike, and she's just like,
no, that's what I thought it was.
Take that. You know what I mean?
There's also the possibility of that bike having a bigger meaning that we'll find out later on in the show, because they have done that before. Like, they've hinted at like little things, and then we find out later on, because they really didn't give us much with these bikes. We just kind of saw what happened. She took the bikes, no explanation. So maybe we'll learn more about that. Maybe when Drew finds out that they're missing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a repercussion.
So then
that'll.
Oh my God, it's crazy that we are almost out of time already. So we obviously have to touch on. Let's actually just quickly talk about Val, and then we'll end with the kiss. So Val, to me, this episode wasn't very relevant in like the rest of the season for her. Yeah. I thought it was more of her kind of doing this like midlife crisis thing.
Maybe she took a little bit of a backseat today.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I don't think so. Obviously, she was maybe considering freezing her eggs. Jennifer,
I thought, wasn't the OBGYN like super harsh?
Yeah,
and when she started laughing,
yeah,
Val is so not old enough to like not be able to like.
Yeah,
she's still childbearing age. Like,
yeah, Val.
She's like, let's tie your tubes.
I know, and then started laughing awkwardly, like while examining. I'm like, this is so weird. But
Val.
Overall,
get a new one.
Yeah, that was strange. But overall, Val, like I just don't think it's. Since we're almost out of time, I think we don't really need to. Is there anything very important that you think we need to touch on with
Just
her?
that I rolled my eyes when Valerie said that she was a great mom. The way she said, like, I mean, I'm a great mom, and like that's why she wanted to have another kid, because she wanted to raise someone because she's a great mom. But I was like, Val, do you need to raise someone else?
No, but also like Drew's gonna have this baby, so maybe it's just competition.
Oh, yeah, that's
sure. I don't think any part of Val really wants another kid.
No, not at all. I think Jennifer kind of talked her down from that, which is good.
Yeah.
So now let's just like end real quick talking about the kiss between Aubrey and Laura. We predicted this was gonna happen, but I didn't think it was gonna happen this quick.
Me neither.
Right when I saw them hold hands, I was like, for a second I questioned maybe they're just having like a friend moment.
No, I was like,
the second they were sitting there watching the movie and they were laying there like
crying.
High and crying, and I was just like, I thought they were gonna kiss then.
You're right. Actually, I did think that.
So I don't know. I mean, do you guys think that like Laura like got high with Aubrey kind of like to hook up?
I don't know. To me, like I said from the beginning, I just got the vibe that Laura was kind of into her when they were hanging out at that shop.
They kind of had sparks. They
did.
Early.
And Laura just kind of always, anytime that Aubrey talked in class or anything, she kind of just smiled and liked what she was saying.
Yeah.
So
I just wonder if it's going to be a bumpy road or just be smooth and they'll be great and everything will be fine. I feel like there's like not enough conflict, right?
Let's just get into quick predictions then before we wrap up.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, what do you guys think?
I just feel like the road's gonna get bumpy with Laura and Aubrey's relationship. One of them is gonna get cold feet in some way or kind of get weirded out about what happened, I think. And I also think that Alex is going to have a conversation with Sarah and get very emotional.
Yeah, I definitely think we're going to have a big altercation with Alex and Sarah. I don't really know what's going to happen with it, but I think that there's just going to be a moment where Alex just has to apologize for like his behavior and stuff like that. Like I said, I still predict that we're going to see a little bit of craziness from Sarah. And then in terms of Aubrey and Laura, I think, and I predicted this with Val too before, because I think this is just the nature of these people to cling on. I think that like maybe Laura will get too attached, and kind of the same thing that I was feeling about Val and Jennifer's friendship.
That was gonna be my one prediction, is that I think that Laura is gonna be super into Aubrey now, and not even necessarily in the I want her as like a girlfriend or anything, but just very clinging to that relationship, because right now that's kind of what she has. So I was thinking that. And then I also want to say, I'm kind of curious, to me now it seems that Jennifer and Val are gonna have a good friendshit. The way that Jennifer came in and was like, can we just get a drink? It was very honest friendship, and that wasn't Val anymore.
It was Jennifer initiating it.
Yeah. So I mean,
Progress.
I guess we'll see. I'm really excited about the rest of the season. I'm excited to see Alex. I think he's gonna get a love interest soon, but that time went by so fast. Seriously. And that's all we have time for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to watch Casual every Tuesday on Hulu, and they did just get a season 3. I am your host, Abby Vega. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at _Abby Vega. And where can they find you guys?
Hey guys, I'm Renee Ariel, and you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel.
Hi guys, I'm Quinn Scillian. You can find me on Twitter at Quinn Scillian. You can find me on Instagram at Quinstagram, and you can add me on Snapchat at QuapChat.
And of course, you can find us all on AfterBuzz TV. Make sure to rate and like and watch again next week. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.